Wait a minute. This doesn't look like my room anymore. That's more like it. That's right. A couple weeks ago, I moved out of my parents' house into my own apartment. Well, I mean, it's kind of my own apartment. I'm sharing it with someone else. I have a roommate, but I have my own room, which is crazy. Which is also how I'm able to have all of my books. That's not all of my books. I have another shelf of books down here that I'm not going to move the camera because maybe I'll make that picture the thumbnail, but you have no idea how much. It took me 10 minutes to set up this one angle because I was like, I must have my books in the back like all the other YouTubers because you know what? Because I can. Because I like books. And I think it fits my vibe because, again, books about theater, more books about literature. It's so fun. I haven't organized them. I got, because this was a donated, my roommate's dad was like, hey, do you want a free desk and bookshelf? And I was like, sure. So he brought it over, and I was so excited that the very night that he brought it in, I just opened all of the totes of books that I had and just threw them all on there just to see my books on a shelf. It was beautiful, and I stared at it for like 30 minutes. It was great. But yes, I moved into my apartment, which, if you may or may not remember, was one of my 185 goals. It was one of my 185 Insane Challenge goals, which was kind of like a given, but again, remember that I started with the rules as really easy ones so that I could feel good about reaching some of them, kind of like milestones. Some of them are like sprawling like goals for like routines. Others are milestone goals. This is one of the milestone goals because I did not think I was going to be moving out of my parents' house as soon as I did because I was a broke college student. But then I got a job. And yeah, and that is actually the next point I want to talk about, the 185 Insane Challenge, because I realized halfway through, it was somebody in the, like, actual, like, Jenna Streety, like, 185 Insane Challenge Discord server. Somebody was like, yeah, I'm starting my challenge in, like, July, like, at the end of June. And then Jenna, I think it was Jenna herself, who responded by saying, hey, that means you'll get to the end of the year. And I was like, wait a minute. Oh no, so I mathed mine wrong, because I don't know why I thought, yes, June to December is 6 months, so whatever, but I think that kind of worked out for me because moving takes a lot of effort. Like, okay, moving itself, because I didn't have, like, this bookshelf, or, like, this other bookshelf, I only had, like, small belongings, so all of my stuff got over here in, like, 90 minutes, because we managed to load it all in my dad's truck and my tiny car, and we drove over here, dropped it off, and then my dad was like, yeah, we just have, like, 6 boxes left, I'm gonna go get them. So he drove back to my parents' house, came back, dropped off the boxes, said, okay, bye, and then went home. Yeah. So it was less the like getting my stuff moved in that took a lot of energy, but it was unpacking my stuff and also downsizing. I did do that. So I downsized a lot of my stuff and I organized a lot of my things, and I also, with the way this room is set up, I have just enough room in my closet to fit myself and my 2x3 cubby that I used in college. It's like a little recording studio because I want to do like voice acting, stuff like that, with this fancy microphone. I don't know if the audio quality will change at all in here because of the way my apartment is, because it's very open still. There's less stuff in here than there was in my dad's office. There's less like stuff in the living room, in the kitchen, anything like that. So there is a little bit more reverb, which is why I set up my like recording studio for voice acting and whatnot in my closet, which is condensed by clothing, carpet, closed doors, a bunch of stuff. I have literally up in the closet, I'm looking at it right now, a bunch of blankets just sprawled out like on top of the top rack. So it muffles it really good. But anyways, so now that it's July, happy July, I am now focusing on hitting like the 185 challenge a lot harder because I am not going to lie. I let myself go a little bit during like the month of June. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I moved in like halfway through the month. And I was like, we're going to focus on unpacking and also working and making money for rent and things like that. And yeah, so I kind of got away from me a little bit, but I'm going to lock in on it more. I raised my word count minimum again from 250 to 350. So I can't, maybe, I think it was 300 the last time I updated you guys. I raised it from 300 to 350, and my next goal is I want to raise it to 450 because I've consistently, the last 3 days in a row, I've hit that goal. I've gone over it by 100. So hopefully by the end of this week, I will be able to update it to like 400, 450. So that'll be really fun. But yeah. And also one of the big rules of like the main challenge, the one that isn't tailored to H.E. Dunkle's specifications, is don't beat yourself up on failing or like falling behind. That's like one of the big rules. So I'm not going to do that because also technically the 6 months started now because I technically did a 7-month version. I don't know how that happened. I really just went, yeah, and just went with it. But it's okay because it's me. It's such a me mistake to make, and it's funny. But yeah, and fun things like that. Also, in terms of the 185 challenge, I finished my writing website. And that was one of the goals, was to finish and publish my website. The link is in my YouTube channel description. I'll post a link here. I don't know if that'll work. Like, embedding it in a YouTube... Oh, wait! Maybe this will be the new challenge for the video. Hang on. I'm trying to formulate it. It would be here. The iCard. I'm going to try and figure out how to work that. If I can't, I'll make fun of myself in the text. But I'll have a link for it. I'll have a link for my website somewhere. It's a cute little thing. It's like, here's what I can do. Here's my backstory. Here's proof that I can, in fact, write. Speaking of writing, I started a new play. I started a new play way earlier than I thought I would because I spent all of college writing plays. I was like, no, I'm going to take a little break after I graduate. I'm going to write poetry. I'm going to write fiction. I'm going to start my book. Dogs. My book. Okay, this is a side tangent to the side tangent. But my book, it's got 13,884 words. And I think that's really nifty considering I started that 2 months ago. I didn't quite hit the 10,000 word goal that I wanted to for June. But that was through literally I was just 200 words shy because I was just... I was really tired, and that's another thing where it's just I get so tired, and then I'm like, I don't want to do anything, I just want to sit and just do nothing. So then I've been like, no, we gotta lock in. It's a new month, it's the start of the actual 6 months, we're gonna lock in. So I've been a lot more consistent the last couple days. With that being said, I started a side project where I'm writing another play. It's a 1-act, and it only has 2 characters in it. And it's based on a short story that I wrote my senior year of high school. I'm not going to go too much into the plot at all, because first off, it's not done yet. I have character descriptions, time, place, the first 3 pages of the scene, and and then a chunk of the 75% the plot twist, because I was writing and I was like, yeah, this is going good. And then I immediately scrolled down and I wrote the plot twist and I was like, I am a genius. It's so fun. But what's different with this play is I called it a 1-act conversation, because the whole premise of this play is these 2 characters are in one place the entire time of the play, and so it takes place in one scene. And I was like, my challenge for this play is to find out if I can write 40 minutes of dialogue that is not boring and not repetitive, because I think the story that I'm trying to tell through those characters in that specific setting is very poignant And I don't know if you've gotten this. Okay, you'll have gotten this if you've read any of my stuff, which you can on New Play Exchange, if you have an account on there, which would be swag. It's not that much money. I'm paying $18 for the entire year. It's great. If you've read any of my work or heard about any of my work, chances are you know that I love think pieces. I love intense dramas that really analyze the human condition. So I love writing intense dramas that analyze the human condition. And so I'm writing another one. And it's going to be lots of fun and a fun challenge, and hopefully I'll be able to yap about it to you at some other point. It'll be so fun. So, yeah, that's been me so far. I'm basically TLDR for this video. I moved. I'm relocking in to the 185 Insane Author Challenge because I miscounted months, so now is the start of the actual 6 months to change my life. And I'm writing a new play. More to come on that later. Yahoo. Cool. Thanks for watching. Bye.